The Bamboo Project podcast starts in 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Bamboo Project podcast. My name is Donovan Gray, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided I'm going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself. And not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every day and documenting my journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is Donovan Gray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. I like to start off by giving a shout out to all the people rocking with us and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you. We are currently streaming on all major streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor. You name it, we on it. And if we not on it, we about to be on it. For everyone listening to this podcast and not watching it, you can find us on YouTube at The Bamboo Project. We have over 500 videos on our channel. Do you want to see our real estate journey? We got that. Do you want cooking tutorials inspired by Dr.Sebi? We got that. Do you want travel and lifestyle vlogs? Got it. Hair and makeup tutorials? Got it. Basketball? Got it. Turo? Got it. Candles? Got it. It's everything us. All the parts of the journey that do not make it to YouTube will be on our story. You can find me on Instagram at Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne. ANETABURN. We made different playlists for all the things we are into, and you can find each of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 4, page 3. All right, so today's date is Thursday, April 6th, and it is 5:32 p.m. So for everyone who is listening to this today, I'm about to finish the podcast, edit the podcast, post up so I can get it today. It might come out maybe like 9-ish, 10-ish, but you know, it's coming out. Before we get into the topics of the day, we start off with screen time. That is when I and baby girl check our phone and we see how much time we spent on it over the last week. Because if we don't take advantage of our phone, then our phone is gonna take advantage of us. Funny enough, I also feel like recently I've been seeing a lot of different things for screen time, like people talking about it, come more of like a thing, people using apps to control their screen time. But listen, everybody in the Bamboo Project, we've already been here. We've been checking out screen time for 4 years now. This is nothing new to us. We've been doing this, okay? It's true to us. You hear that? Bars. Now, let's see what my screen time was for last week. So I already have an idea my screen time is going to be like really high just because I don't know. It might not be. Let's see. All right.
Excuses.
Must be lower than yours though. All right. So last week, every day I spent an average of 9 hours and 57 minutes on my phone. Sheesh. That's 10 hours a day. That's almost half the day. All right, so let's see why I was spending so much time on my phone. So I was on YouTube for 10 hours and 46 minutes. Then I was on Instagram for 10 hours and 5 minutes. Then I was on the camera for 8 hours and 40 minutes. And then I was on Square for 8 hours and another 14 minutes. And my highest usage day was Wednesday for 12 hours and 12 minutes. Now, let's see, let me go back to week. On average, I picked up my phone 147 times per day, and my first used app after pickup was Square. So, baby girl, what was your screen time for or looking like last week?
For me last week, my screen time was 5 hours and 43 minutes on average. So my first most used is messages for 4 hours and a half, then Instagram for 4 hours, then Square for 4 hours and 15 minutes. And then TikTok for almost 2 hours, music for almost 2 hours. And I picked up my phone 256 times a day on average.
On average?
Listen, don't look at me like that. Because I was on my phone for half the time that you were on yours. I just pick my phone up a lot.
It's almost 300 times a day.
Okay, so?
That's like...
But I'm only on my phone.
Okay, so...
For 5 hours.
For 5 hours. So what is 300 divided by 5? 60. So you pick up your phone 60 times an hour? Is that right? 60, 120, 180. I thought that, yeah, 300 times an hour. For 5 hours straight.
Right. So, okay. I feel like, no. It should be 300 divided by 16.
Why 16?
That's like 20 times.
How you get 16?
Because that's the amount of time in a day that I'm not sleeping.
But you're doing it by the time you're on your phone.
What you mean?
You're on your phone for 5 hours.
Right.
So, I guess you pick it up and you don't use it?
I'm not consecutively sitting on my phone for 5 hours.
Sure, I guess.
So, it's a process span of probably 16 hours, which is like 20 times.
Sure. If you check, they have it. You can look at how when you picked it up.
Yeah, so okay. I can go to the individual days.
You gotta do that.
Right. Either way, you're trying to make it seem worse than it is.
I'm just saying that's a lot. I've never even heard yours.
Reacted to you like that when you said you were on the phone for 24 hours.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything like that.
You might as well should have said.
I said, and honestly, I'm trying to figure out why it was so high, and I think the reason why is because I was not.
You'd be on your phone a lot. That's why.
No. It's because that last week of Chelsea, we were in and out of working. So I would be at home, you would be here, so on and so forth. So it was one of the days I know I was like, yeah, I'm staying in bed. And then I also went to, it don't matter, we're not going over that. Right. But
those are excuses.
Next is Screen.
Nobody was bothering you.
I wouldn't have said nothing. If it was if it was a low or like a more average number to what you're used to doing, like I would have been, if you said like 100, 200.
My phone to sell, and my phone be on low power mode all the time, so it turns itself off all the time.
What does that mean?
So
my phone, everybody's phone does. Everybody's phone is on low power mode.
My phone is constant. My phone never get off low power.
Sure. Like I said, I think I'm used to you saying like 200 something, like 212. I'd be like, all right. When you said 280, 290, what number you said? It was like.
Why are you worried about what number I said?
Because it was so high.
I said 230. No, that's not average. Okay. I got scared. I'm like, damn, I think I gave you the wrong numbers. I didn't.
Oh, what was your highest pickup day? Oh, how many? What was the most?
My highest pickup day was the weekend. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No. Like what number does it say was the highest amount you picked up your phone?
Friday for 303 times.
Okay, and then what was the average?
256.
Okay. All right.
You know what it is?
What?
I didn't vlog at all. Not really. It says I was only in my camera for an hour and 20 minutes.
For the whole week?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyways, all right. Now we're doing subscriber check. So on the Candle channel, we are at 322 subscribers. Okay. And then on the main channel, the Bamboo Project, we are at 6,450 subscribers. All right. So shout out to everybody who's following the Candle page. That vlog is going up tomorrow. I got y'all. If I find any more shorts, I'll post those until the vlog goes up. Don't have a time yet for the vlog because I got to edit this. Might have to go to Jersey tomorrow to pick up wax. So I thought we could rest this week. It seems as that is. I got like an hour or two here and there, but I didn't really get like a just watch anime all day and lay in bed. I didn't really get that. So maybe 2 weeks from now. Maybe.
Listen, I'm planning to have some free time next year.
Oh, hot. That's funny. Okay. All right. So we are a candle company, but you know what? I'll start with the house. Let's start with the house update. I'm not really sure where to go with the house. I told you I talked to my guy Tori about filing an insurance claim. So I've been trying to find the time to get the receipts for it. and I don't even know where I would start looking. And I talked to my uncle, and he thinks I would need a police report. So my brain, like I said, every time I say the word house, my brain just like starts stuttering every single time. We are not house flippers. That is not the era we are in. That was season 3. Season 4 is candles. Season 2 was Turo. No. Actually, season 2 was the house. That's crazy. Season 2 was flipping the house. And then season 3 was the tailing of the house. But season 3 was also Turo. Wholesaling was season 1? Season 1 was wholesaling, Melissa? That's kind of crazy. Wow. Life comes at you fast. The most recent update that we have is, it seems as though the insurance auto renewed. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there's insurance. So the reason why I'm on the fence of whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing is because they're probably going to charge us for the insurance, or at least put it on the back end of the bill. And also, the reason why it might be a good thing is because now that may give me time to file the insurance claim. So I have to call them at some point to even square that away. Every time I think about them, I gotta figure out how much I gotta figure out how much the appliances cost, the water heater. I gotta look at the budget from the contractor. I gotta look at all of that stuff. I'm like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel with this stupid house. But yeah, so the other thing is the buyer wants me to reimburse him $1,000. I'm like, bro, you're not getting $1,000 from me. Like, I don't know why you thought I was giving you $1,000. I'm not doing that. Like, that's crazy. You were gonna buy the house. You agreed to buy the house, and you paid for the doors to go on the house. The only difference between now and when the house was there was the counters are not there. Like the counters, the bottom cabinets and the counters not there. That's it. Everything else is the same. But you back out of the deal, and we offered to have a pay cut on the house. So at that point, it's just kind of like, there's no reason for you not to buy the house. We don't gave you enough pay cuts. You could have bought it. You don't want to buy it. And then you want me to pay for the doors that you put on, that were put on the house, to secure it for you. That's not gonna happen. And I'm kind of upset. I didn't tell you this. So I vaguely remember talking to the agent and telling him, like, make the deposit really high for the buyer. Why was the deposit only $1,000? And I'm like, that's mad low. He's like, oh yeah, that's kind of standard. I'm like, but that's how you end up with people who back out of deals, because the EMD is so low. Like, make that shit $10,000. Like, make it $20,000. We'll see who really wants to buy the house or not. So a lot of people have had different takes on what they think happened with the house. I've heard people say that they think the old contractor broke in. I've heard people say that people have been watching the house, and when it went under contract, people just noticed that no one was going into the house anymore. So they figured, hey, we could just go in there. Another thing that I find interesting is that I have not heard from the lady from across the street. I feel like that she never called me for anything. I think I reached out to her once and she never responded back. So I'm like, that just seemed kind of odd to me. So there's that. There's so many things with the house. What else have I heard? That people think that maybe the new buyer went into the house, stole the stuff, and left. And I'm like, sure, that's a possibility too. You know, at this point, it's just leaving it to the imagination as to what happened to the house. So I talked to one of my family members about it, and he pretty much told me that just leave the house. He was like, just walk away. Like, there's nothing you can really do. There's nothing really left of the house. You're not gonna put any more money into it. He said probably try and call the lenders to see whether or not they would foreclose on it quicker, because the debt doesn't go away for that. It's still there. It's just, it's like they're gonna keep piling up on the back, I assume, and they might sell it for a loss. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I haven't really spoken to them since January, when I told them that we had a buy for the house. listen, talking about the house is very depressing. Very, very depressing. But as far as updates, I think that's really it. One of these days when I have some time, I will try and see how much we could possibly get with an insurance claim, and see if it's even worth doing or not. But y'all know I'm locked in on the candles. Okay, locked in. So that kind of transitions us into topic number 2, which is what we did in the last 30 days. So if y'all were on the live, you would have seen it. You might have even seen it in the title. I don't know if it was there. But last month, or in the last 30 days, we did over $16,000 in sales, right? The goal was 20, and we got to like 16. We did 14, but we had 2 more days of fairs, and we made another like $2,000 or so in those 2 extra days. So that's why I say the last 30 days. And I think, like I said, it's great that we got the 16K. But right now it's all being reinvested back into the business, whether that's paying off debt, whether that is buying new supplies, buying less expensive supplies, switching suppliers. That's kind of what we're looking at right now, because I think when you have a business, there are so many levers to pull on to make the business grow, right? You have the leverage, which could be capital or hiring employees. You have the cost, bringing the cost down. You have the creative side of creating new products, and you have creating, branding, marketing, things of that nature. And the last, Q1 was mostly Melissa and I using our leverage of, I guess you could say capital, like borrow money or getting funding from different places, and our actual labor, like us going to the fair, doing the fair for 3 weeks in a row. Like I'm editing right now the vlog right before we started doing Chelsea 3 weeks back to back, right to back, and then also had double bookings and triple bookings in that time period. So this really pushed us to the limits in terms of how often Melissa and I will separate and how comfortable we feel separating to do the craft fair. One of the biggest things that I've learned from doing it this way is that it's very hard to get multiple sales at the table with only one person. And I feel like that is one of the biggest hurdles that we have right now, even though we've never intended to do the market with only one person. Even when we hire people, we plan to have 2 people at all times to be there, 2 people minimum. I think 3 is really good, but I feel like a third person, they maybe for like certain days. At Starbucks, y'all did that, right? Like certain days they'll have more people because it was busier. So yeah, and then I feel like that's kind of how it'll be set up.
Certain times of the day.
That too? Oh wow. So yeah, that's kind of what we would need. I think Saturdays and Sundays it would be 3 people at the table. And I think that also what's very important is location, because right now it's kind of difficult for us to even have 3 people at the table selling. We can barely kind of fit 2 in terms of where they're going to even sell things at. I think the third person would pretty much just be cleaning up in the back, and they would pretty much, they would be doing bagging things up. And if somebody ever comes to in the back behind the 2 current salespeople, they could address them. I think that's what they would be good for. But for sure too, because one thing we've noticed is that when people walk up to the table, if I'm talking to someone, they'll just kind of smell a candle and just kind of like, oh, they smell really good, and they'll kind of walk off, and I can't really engage them. And I've had times where I'll try and engage that person, they'll stay, but then the person that I was just talking to walks off, and I'm just kind of like, oh my God, this is like terrible. But when Melissa and I are selling at the same time, we can get more people. I could be having a long convo with one person for 15-20 minutes, but Melissa could still be getting sales on the side, as opposed to now, if I'm talking to somebody for more than 5, 10, 15 minutes, that's no sales happening at the table. Like, that's just it. There's no sales going down. So I think that on average, us being there together, our sales are probably going to be an extra 30 to 40% higher just because 2 of us are there. So that's something to keep in mind going forward. So like I said, last month we did 16, or the last 30 days we did 16K. And earlier I talked about pulling on different levers to grow the business. And this upcoming month, I feel it's going to be a very big branding, marketing, online pushing type of month, because I think that we understand markets very well based off of the last 3 months and last year. We've probably dealt with the most things that we've had to deal with in the last 3 months when it comes to fairs. Pop-up fairs, inventory not coming, people not being able to show up, being triple booked randomly, being asked to come to different events, traveling, getting trains, and as y'all know, the cart broke in the beginning. We didn't have a car anymore, transportation getting to and from, and all the other stuff. How much money we spend on food, going to fairs, or just being at the fairs, not buying groceries. All of those things we learned from doing the Q1. Q1 was very, very fair intensive, and I'm actually curious how many fairs we probably did, like how many days of fairs did we do. And I don't even know how you account triple and double bookings. So okay, let me see if we did a fair.
I would just do it about how many individual markets we were at.
What you mean?
Like how many markets we were at.
3?
No, like per day.
So like you would say 1, like each market would be 1 day. Okay, 58. So we pretty much did 2 months worth of fairs in 3 months. Like that means if we count for how many days of fairs we did almost 60 days of just straight fairs. That's crazy. Like not back to, well, a lot of them was back to back, but we had triple bookings, double bookings, 7-day fairs. We did 7-day fairs 5 times or 4 times. I think we did 4, right? We did 3 in a row and then 1 off before that. Yeah. So that's crazy. That right there is 28 days, just that. So we have an understanding of how fairs go, also including what happened last year. What we've never really tried to learn is the online side. And to me, I believe I know what to do for the online side, but it requires work and it requires time. I feel like the next month we'll kind of dip into that a little bit, but I know for sure that overall our revenue for the month is going to go down. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, and we never talked about this either on the podcast. So last week, that's kind of crazy. Last week, we got approved for our 4th Square loan. The 4th one. That one was for, what was it, 4,000? Bro, that was our biggest one that we've ever gotten. Yeah, that was the biggest one that we've ever gotten. And we were able to get it because we did so many fairs in a row. So even though marginally it wasn't good for us in terms of profit margin, gross revenue is what they care about when they give you a new loan. So if we would have made $100K last month and only kept 99 cents, they would have given us a loan for 60, 70K, right? So this is one.
That's crazy.
Right. And this is why I'm always preaching the money is the most important thing. You have to generate money. Like, people always think about it like, how much money do I want to have? How much money do I want to have in my bank account? Things like that. I think that's the wrong way to think about it. I do think, you know, I talked to Tori about this before. I feel like there is a time and a place to put money to the side or like keep money, right? Because originally my thought was always money is a transfer of energy, right? It's a currency. Think of the word current. That's where currency comes from. You transfer back and forth. That's what money is. So when you start thinking about money as an intangible as opposed to a physical thing, I think the people will look at it differently. I think that, or this is how I used to think, probably like in the last 2 years, is that once I get money, I need to spend it, right? Immediately, like as much as I can, but I'm spending it on something that will make me more money. That's my thought process. If I get $1, I'm not saving my dollar. I'm spending it to get $2, spending it to get $1.50. I'm just spending it. Now, the trade-off to that is if an opportunity comes, you don't have the cash to get that opportunity, right? How I look at it is I have not flipped the money enough to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. But there's different ways of looking at it, because again, there's A and there's B, or however you want to look. It's not really like numerical. It's left and right. That's a better way. So if I am flipping my dollar every day, right? Let's say I'm getting 25 cents on my dollar whenever I flip it, right? So at the end of the week, I would have $1. I don't know how that math works. I don't know how you would even do that. Let me see. So at the end of the week, I'd have about $7, right? If y'all better at math than me, please let me know. So here's the thing though, right? If I can save up that money that I'm making, and I have $5 to start with instead of the $1 for the following week, right? Or even that same week, I now have access to an opportunity that's bigger. Y'all really need to play Rich Dad Poor Dad. The game, it's like amazing for this, to explain this idea. But that's the trade-off. So that's kind of what I've been battling with my whole life, is I never had enough money to flip into an opportunity that I wanted that was big enough for me. So that's why I'm always leveraged or borrow money so that I can then make more money from that. Because the other option is to just save up my shekels from whatever poor job I'm working at for 6, 7, 8 months and then put that into something else. Now, the trade-off with that is, if I save my money for, this is what I'm gonna tell you something, right? The minute I became adverse to saving was when I was working at Popeyes. I'll never forget this. I remember, I'm like, I would love to buy an iPad. I want to get an iPad, right? Really badly. And I said, okay, how much money do I need to save to get an iPad? Because I used to be a proponent of saving. I used to be like very high saving. It would have taken me like 6 to 8 months to get me an iPad. Like, by paying my bills and also saving for the iPad. And I was just kind of like, I would save for 6 months and I would get an iPad. That's it. I'm like, so I can't do nothing else. I can't go nowhere. I can't spend time. I can't spend money on anything else. I'm putting it towards an iPad. And I was just like, that seems silly. I don't like that. And that taught me that the game I need to play is, how do I make more money? That's my thing, is how do I make more money? So if I can flip bigger amounts of money, then we end up where we at now. We finally making $16,000 in a month. This is why I care more about making revenue than I do about profit margins. Now, don't get me wrong. I love high profit margins. I do, right? But in the place that we are at, high revenue is better than high margins. The more you make, even if you have lower margin, you still make more money, which is literally a direct correlation to us doing Chelsea Market, because the margins were significantly lower, but we made more money. That is the reason why Square gave us a bigger loan, because they see, hey, you're making a lot of money. Here's more money, right? So that's just, my brain is always focused on how can we have the top line number be very, very big first and worry about everything else after that. So now back to what we're doing next month, or this month coming up. I think that if we can put our energy that we've put into the craft fair and apply that same logic and time and effort into the website, into the online stuff, I think that in 2 months, we will be getting regular orders every week, like 3 to 8 to 10 orders every single week. Because the things that I really believe that we need to do is product photography. I think that's a big one. I think CapCut has been a huge help for us. It's an app where you can make videos or make shorts. I think that's a huge upside for us, because that makes it easier to make content. Content is the thing that gets or makes more money on social media. So that is like a big thing for us. So we haven't even got to really plan it out like we wanted to do in the live last week, because I literally came home from the fair and then did the live for like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. So we didn't really get to plan all the things we wanted to out when I did that. So me and Melissa gotta have a little all hands on meeting and get that situated. So I think right now that's the plan for next month. Y'all are gonna see a lot more content like than you have seen in the past couple of months. Like you will absolutely see more content from us. There's no doubt in my mind that you're gonna see more content, because we're focusing more on that this month. Now the next topic is all right. So we were invited to do an event. Honestly, I'm gonna respond to them today. Damn. Some of y'all may know this, some of y'all may not know this, right? I strongly disagree with the trans movement, right? Strongly. Gay, fine, bi, fine, trans, what did they used to be called? What were they called before? Transvestites, I think they're called. Asexual, all the other stuff, I'm fine. I don't care about none of the other stuff, right? If you want to do whatever you want to do with somebody, that's cool. If you feel girly, that's fine too. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind that either. To me, I don't care. Where my line is when you say I am a girl. That's to me the line. Like, I feel like if you say you feel like a girl, that's fine. You know, sometimes, you know, what's something I'm gonna do? I feel like a girl. Here, I got you right now. Whenever I put my underwear on, right? If I accidentally pull the elastic too hard and it slap against my thigh, I feel like a girl. Cause I'm like, I don't feel like my underwear should be slapping against my thigh like that. I hate when it happens, but it's like, in my mind, that's how I envision girls putting their clothes. They put it on, they slap against them like this, and they're like, yeah, and that's how they feel. I don't like that.
What?
I'm gonna show you.
Who told you that that's what girls?
You wanna do that?
You do. I would be slapping myself in my clothes.
No, like this. You go.
I know what you're talking about. Who does that? Who likes that? I don't do that to myself.
What you mean?
When you see me just.
Right.
When
you put your clothes on.
You've seen that.
You don't do it on purpose. It's just a natural thing. What you mean? You don't do that? You tell me you don't do that, Melissa? You tell me when you put your underwear on.
Slide it on. When am I supposed to? When does that happen? When does that happen?
When you're sliding them on. Put some underwear on. Let's see. Because I'm like, obviously now you think I'm crazy. Let's see. Because that to me is very girl. That's like a girl thing. Maybe I'm bugging.
I think that's what, like you said, I think you think that that's like a. I think it's the slapping sound where it's kind of like, oh, my underwear is caressing me, but like.
No, you gotta put. That's not you put your underwear on. That's not you put your underwear. I know you put your underwear on like that, but that's not even underwear. Put on underwear, so we can see. Cause I'm like, let's see. Watch your head slap. Watch the slap happen. And see. Let's see. And not none of the non-elastic ones either. That you just the ones with the seamless ones. Can't use those. That's cheating.
This is not seamless.
Okay, that's perfect. I heard it. I heard it again. Right? Right? You know, see? You know what I'm talking about. See? Exactly. Thank you. You know what I'm talking about. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly.
That's not something I've noticed before.
Right. But I know that's what happens. Right. See? You just did it. That's what they do. Exactly. I know. Because I only hear it when girls get dressed. So that's why I'm like, oh, Lord. See, put on some other clothes. So now I'm like, so again, this is what I'm saying is, I could feel like a girl when it happens, like, damn, what happened now, right? But I'm not a girl. I'm never going to be a girl, no matter what happens to me, right? So I draw the line there at that. Now, if you want to dress like a girl, you want to put on a dress, whatever you want to do, that's fine. When you start saying I am a girl, I'm like, I don't know about that, right? So, someone bought a candle from us. Loves the candle. Bought a room service one, our best-selling candle, right? They're running some type of event. The event is an LGBTQIA trans bi POC event, right? What does B stand for? Black, Indigenous, People of Color?
Bisexual?
BIPOC.
Oh.
What's the what?
Yeah, Black, Indigenous, People of Color. Yeah.
That's what it stands for?
POC, people.
But what about the BI part?
Black, Indigenous.
So about nothing else? Nobody else is in?
People of color.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's new. All right.
That's what I think. And you know what's funny? Because I said the P for people of color. So I don't know. But it's POC. So
right.
I'm like, oh, okay, so people of color.
Right. That's what I figured, but I don't know what the BI is for. I figured BI has to be black. I just maybe assume it's indigenous. But maybe it's Italian. I don't know. So they invite us to this event. Now this event is very salacious, which I would go. Like I've been having this battle with myself over the last like week or so, right? Because I think it would be fun to go. I think it would be entertaining. I think it would be good content, right? But it's super pro trans. So now I'm in a situation where I'm thinking to myself, even though I don't support that movement, should I still go to that? Because it's not like it's just specifically a trans movement. They're just there. But I don't know if I'm compromising myself by going to such an event. And like I said, when I said salacious,
it's you know.
The ads was a girls on a countertop with what do you call that? Fishnet panties and a split twerking. I'm like, Lord, and honestly, it might have been a man. I don't even know. It's posted. I thought
It's just strippers.
Was it a man?
I don't know.
Right, you don't know exactly. I don't know either. But that's what it was. So they really, really, really want us to come. Like when I say really, I mean like I've been trying to figure out whether I want to go or not. And in that meantime, like in a day, like in a 10-minute span, more like a 2-minute and 30-second span, they liked like 40 pictures, maybe like 20 pictures at the same time. DM'd us, emailed us, and commented twice. I'm like, okay, all right, guys. Like, I was gonna respond before that, but they caught me, and that's the worst. Isn't that the worst thing? Like when you plan to do something, but then someone else catches you before you do it.
Shoulda did it.
I know, and now it looks crazy because now what I'm doing is I'm encouraging the behavior of double tweeting, liking, share, all of that. And I'm like, I don't want the person to feel like, hey, the best way to reach me is to like 20 pictures, comment twice, DM and email. I don't want you to think that, right? That's very bad territory to get into. But she loves the candles. And it's weird because, and I'm curious, what would y'all do? What would y'all do in an event like this? Because I draw the line there. I think that's crazy. I'm not, when I say I'm against it, I think it's silly. Like that's the thing I go, okay, this is ridiculous. But I'm not like mad at them about anything. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, what is a thing that I feel like I would not go to? Where I'm like, nah, you can't, there's no conversation. Or let's say I tell myself this. I go, murderers. When I go to a murderers event, I'm like, they're like past murderers? I'm like, would you go to that? Is that like,
are they reformed? Like, what kind of event is it?
What's a reformed murderer?
Like they're trying to change the ways.
Sure, let's go with that.
Right.
Would you go to an event like that? Like the event is for murderers.
Like we say for murderers because it's like
it's a pro murderer event.
It's a pro. Are you talking about like a AA type of situation where it's like, hi, my name is so and so.
We're promoting murder.
Huh? You're gonna offend some people.
But I'm asking you, would you go?
No, I wouldn't go to a pro murder event.
Okay. Why not?
Because I don't want to die.
Okay. Here's the next question up. Would you go to a pro pedophilia event?
Absolutely not.
Okay, why not? They're not gonna pedophilia you.
That is terrible.
Sure, but give me some. I need some context. Why would you not go?
Like it's terrible. I don't fuck with that at all.
But you kind of fuck with murder.
I kind of fuck with murder. No.
But you said that you would, if they were reformed, you would. So you go to a reformed pedophilia event?
If reformed pedophilia.
Like we used to be pedophiles, but we're no longer pedophiles.
It's like you're trying to be a better person, but I still wouldn't feel. Maybe I would go, but I wouldn't bring my kids.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
No. We're talking about Ember Candle. They asked you to come to their pro pedophilia event.
Candle.
They're like, we want you to bring a candle. Would you be at an event selling a candle at a pro pedophilia event?
A pro pedophilia?
No, my bad. Yeah, pro pedophilia.
No.
Okay, so you said no to that one. Okay, reform pedophilia event.
Are you trying to reform other pedophilia people?
We're all reformed.
But are you trying to also reform other people?
We're having an event for how reformed we are.
That sounds suspicious.
A pedophile walks into a bathroom. What? Two pedophiles walk into the bathroom.
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't think. Because I'm like, how do you even have an event like that? It can't be like within square feet.
Okay. So, all right. So you got. Would you go to?
What? I don't like all these places.
But this is what I've been battling with in my mind.
But it's not that.
But why is it not?
Because murder, pedophilia.
I didn't get to the last one either. Another one. So
Okay.
pro-racist.
Pro-racist.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't go to a pro-racist event.
Okay.
You're not gonna ask if I would go to a reform racist.
Well, reform is not really on the table. You brought it up before you act. I'm like, there's no reform trans in the event. There's like people are pushing we're pushing trans. We want people to be comfortable being trans.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. So pro-racist, no.
Okay.
Reform racist, I probably still wouldn't go either because I don't.
Okay, so you wouldn't go to a pro-racist, a pro-murderer, or a pro-pedophilia,
Nope.
right?
No.
But you go to a pro-trans event.
Because I don't really care.
Okay, so what? But okay, so what is why to you? Do you draw that? Why is that line there for you?
I just don't care.
But you care about murderers?
Because they're killing other people.
Okay, what about I guess. What about racism?
Racism is.
They're not hurting nobody. They just hate people who are black.
But they be hurting people.
Not really.
Not really.
No, they live in the middle of nowhere. They're just racist.
But if they're private racist, it doesn't hurt anyone.
But it's a pro-racist event, though.
That sounds like someone about to get hurt.
No. We just.
Melissa, do you want to go to a clan rally? Well, all these people who don't
they want you to sell your candles there.
Congregate together.
They want a KKK candle. They want you to say. They want to write, and they have white letters and a white backdrop.
Maybe if I wear a hood, maybe if they don't know that I'm black. No, I would not go.
Okay,
but that's also has to do with the violence. That's associated.
Okay. So let me see. Let me give you something else. Would you go to a pro 9 to 5 event and sell the candles?
Pro 9 to 5.
Like, we want people to not be entrepreneurs.
We want people to not be entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
I am not against jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So probably.
Okay, so you would go to that. Okay. Let me see.
I think there are good, fulfilling jobs out there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, I'm not like a pro work at a fast food company for the rest of your life.
Right, and this is the thoughts I'm having to myself. And y'all know me. I always go extreme to figure out where my mind is at. So.
Like I said, trans, it doesn't bother me because it's not hurting anyone. I think the only thing for me personally that is like I guess I don't like when it comes to that is just I guess the age at which you kind of let kids either transition or stuff like that.
Oh, I have another one.
Is a little is for me, I don't feel comfortable with, but there's also people that I feel like the trans community is divided on that as well.
Yes. Okay.
So I wouldn't attribute that to being that, if you trans, you pro that. So.
Okay. I think this one would be a better, more accurate question. If it was a pro-vaccine event, would you go? Like corona vaccine, like COVID-19 vaccine. Like you get a free candle with your vaccine. They're gonna buy the candle from you. Every vaccine you get a free candle.
That is... You're not asking Melissa questions. You're asking Donovan questions.
What do you mean? All right, but I'm asking questions to you. I want to know how you feel about them.
But those are things that you feel
I understand. About. I know that, but that's why I'm asking you though.
For me personally, are they paying me?
You gotta sell. You gotta sell at the vaccine event.
Sell at the event.
Yes. And it's a pro mask, pro vaccine, all that stuff.
That one's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
That one I would say probably not.
Okay. What is your reason for that?
I think that it's easier to be a part of something that's kind of like reforming something, maybe like school reform or like building, parks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like change, I would prefer something like that. I think promoting something that can be kind of detrimental to some people, I wouldn't feel as comfortable with. So I think that's where I kind of draw the line at. Is just like how can the effect of me promoting this affect somebody else? Right,
and that's kind of where I'm at, because I'm like, am I endorsing a thing I don't agree with by going?
But like I said, because I feel differently about it than you do.
Right, but you still said, like, what, the trans one you mean? Right, I know that, but I'm talking about for me specifically. But because I'm trying to find something for you that's similar.
For you.
But no, that's what I'm trying to find something for you that's similar.
That's similar?
But let me finish. I'm trying to find something for you that's similar so I can understand how you address it and how you think about it. Because, like I said, for me, my thought process is always, okay, go to the extreme version, see how you feel about it, and then if you wouldn't do it at an extreme version, you probably shouldn't do it. That's how my brain works. But I'm like, you are more centered than that. So I'm like, okay, how would you address a situation like this? Which is why I found something or look for something that you felt like you would like, I don't really know if I would do that. Okay, why not? And you said because you feel like you would, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's endangering somebody, you wouldn't want to be a part of it. Is that true?
Pretty much. It's like, how much of a risk is it to, endanger someone? Because it's like, yeah.
Right. That's what I think. That's my thing with the trans too. Where it's like, I don't. If I'm talking to a trans person, I don't care. Like, I'm like, I would probably think that, depending on how deep our convo went, I would probably ask those questions. I would ask the questions. But if it's just surface level, hey, what's going on? How you doing? That's it. Hey, how's your day? You chilling? All right, cool. But that's it. I feel like going to an event, bringing the brand there and showcasing it here, I feel like it's an endorsement of the event. And it's so interesting to me to have this conversation, at least with myself and now Melissa, because how do larger brands approach it? 'Cause I'm also thinking about that too. Should we go, hey, the candles don't care about you, whether you're trans or not? Like, the candles, do whatever. You want to be a murderer, you want to be a COVID denier or COVID, pro-COVID, whatever. Sure, the candles don't care about none of that. The candles just want to be burned in your home, right? But then I think something interesting about that is it's a parallel with making media. Because when you make media, you want the best content to be put out, regardless of what's happening actually in person, right? So I feel like the business is very similar in that way, where it's like, well, we want the business to grow on its own, but same way with media, I'm still a real person at the end of the day. So as a person who has a business, you have to think about like, okay, does my business have to align with me? Does my media have to align with me? Or is it just its own separate thing? And I feel like that's where you get to like a really like interesting place where people like to separate the two. And I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but the bigger you get, the more separation you start to see.
Yeah, because like I said, I think the issues that I would have that's kind of surrounding, that has to do with trans, my issue isn't with you, I guess, calling yourself a woman or a man.
Right.
I think my issues more come in kind of, I guess, when it comes to societal things, where it's like, I don't know, maybe just to throw out examples, not saying that I personally have any issues with these. It would be like the bathrooms, like gender neutral bathrooms. It would be participating in probably different sports events. The things that they like to highlight when it comes to trans people, and then children. Those three things, but I don't think that those are directly connected to being trans. So I don't think that by being a trans woman or trans man, I'm like, you are now saying that people need to use the same bathroom, people need to do this, people need to do that.
Okay, so let me ask, I got two more examples. Would you sell the candles at a lingerie party for 14-year-olds?
For 14-year-olds, lingerie party? Probably not.
Okay, why not? Nobody's getting hurt?
I feel like that's sexualizing underage.
You're not sexualizing them. You're selling candles.
That event sounds like...
It's not. I'm just selling candles here.
I feel like, nah, that's a no for me.
Right?
But I feel like that's it, because when you say lingerie party, like, is it a private party? Like, what do you mean? Like, is it a sleepover? Like, I don't know what you're talking. Like,
they're having an event. They like
a public event that somebody's throwing.
Sure, yeah, public event. I was gonna first go with more of like, what would you call it? I was gonna go with the dancer. You know how they have like the kids do the dancing, and they kind of have them wearing like kind of somewhat provocative things when they're really young. Have you seen anything like that before?
You mean like kind of like pageants?
Yeah, something like that, but for younger kids, right? So they might wear a bathing suit. They might wear, the tutu or whatever. So I'm like, okay, would you go to an event where kids are doing something that is technically harmless, but still can lead to something that can be dangerous?
Probably not.
So that's kind of where the trans thing is at, where it's like, yes, you saying you're a man is fine. You want to be a woman saying that's technically doesn't hurt anybody. But by having the event, you are endorsing the idea of people being able to say that they can just transition to something else and be like, I'm just not a man because I don't want to be anymore.
If it's not hurting anybody.
But that's exactly, you're saying it's not hurting anybody. Right. But what happens when a kid,
as many people as they want could do it.
But what happens when a kid wants to become something else because they're seeing Johnny now become Joan?
Because trans, I don't really know what trans means, right? Because I don't know if that's just doing drag. I don't know if you have to.
Okay.
I don't know if you have to. What I mean by, I guess, sure, it's not just doing drag. I don't know if that's like wearing feminine clothing or what you deem as feminine clothing, or is it actually going through, like, taking the hormones and going through the biological process? Like, at what point do you become a trans woman?
When you say you're a woman and you're a man.
Right, so that's not dangerous to anyone inherently because you haven't done anything yet.
But that's the same thing with the kids. It was like, well, they're just wearing lingerie. They're not doing anything. They're wearing a thong. She's 14. She's not going to hurt nobody. Right. It's like nobody's getting hurt. But what happens, what you start thinking about, well, somebody else is going to look at her and be like, well, why does 14-year-old got lingerie? It's like, she don't need to wear that. So it's not hurting her or anybody else around her until you add somebody else to it. Same thing with the trans, where it's like it's not hurting anybody because you want to be trans. But now, what kind of example are you setting for other people? And other people, you're now endorsing this. Like, as being a trans person, you're endorsing that trans movement.
Sure, but I don't think the trans movement is telling other people to be trans.
What is it saying to do?
It's just if that's what you feel like you are, to just be comfortable doing it.
That's the problem.
Why is that a problem?
Because it's not a real thing.
Sure,
and but that's how you
real or not. That doesn't bother me.
But that's how you lead to the other part, where you go, well, I feel like a woman. I'm gonna cut off my testicles. That's how you get there. Damn, I know she wasn't even open. That's how you get there. When you go, oh, I'm supposed to be. I was born a man, but I'm supposed to be a woman. I can feel it, so I'm gonna go get this done.
As that part, I don't really like.
So, but that's my whole argument about the thing. Is okay, whether or not.
But like,
you can say you don't care.
I don't.
But you just said you care.
I care, like, when it comes to, like I said, if you're an adult and you want to do that, then sure, that's what you want to do.
So okay, if I'm an adult and I want to have my child throw a lingerie party.
But see, but that's the kid that you bringing into it.
What you mean?
I think if you're an adult trans person and you decide you want to, like, fully, I don't even know what terms to use, fully transition, you want to go and do the surgery and take hormones and stuff like that, then sure, do that.
Okay, so if a 14-year-old wrote you and told you she's had a lingerie party.
Right, that's crazy. Like, where's your mother? Like, no.
But why?
Because why are you having a lingerie party at 14?
Because I want to look attractive.
Nah.
But nobody's getting hurt.
But you about to hurt yourself.
How?
Because other people might look at you and want to hurt you now. That's why.
Do you see the parallels?
No.
Really?
I don't.
So that wearing a lingerie can be dangerous for other people.
I think it endangers you.
Okay.
That's my problem when it comes to the 14-year-old having a lingerie party.
Okay.
You are endangering yourself.
But at the party? You just going to the party to sell candles.
I don't agree with them doing it, so I can't do it.
Right. That's where I'm at. Yes. I don't agree with that.
With them being trans?
Yes.
Just period.
No. Because it's not, if you want to dress like, you could dress like a girl, you want to get surgery, all that stuff, that's fine. You are still a man. Let's keep it on I'm a man that got surgery to have woman parts. I'm a man that dressed like a woman. I'm a man that likes to feel like a woman. But you never become a woman. There is no point in time where you go from man, no matter what you do.
But I'm not saying that. No one is saying, we're not having a conversation. Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, nobody's saying that, like, that is what happens when you're trans, but that's your issue with it. So I can't argue for it. Does that make sense?
But the argument isn't the trans thing. The argument is there's an event that you feel uncomfortable with that isn't inherently bad. Should you go? That's the argument. Whether or not I'm using trans, I'm using for you the children in lingerie because it doesn't.
I feel like that's wrong though.
Why is it wrong? Okay, when you were 14, you didn't have thongs.
No.
Let me know. Okay, girls at 14 have thongs. It's not uncommon. They have sexy bras.
Sure, but girls at 14 aren't having lingerie parties. That's not a common thing.
What does that mean?
That's what my issue is, where it's kind of like that is too much. That's too much of an extreme.
14-year-olds are having sex,
but they're not having lingerie parties.
So you gonna go to a 14-year-old sex party? Like what? I don't want. I felt like I would bring it back to something that's less.
Because sex is like, I think sex is kind of like less than a lingerie party. Does that make sense?
Nah, it doesn't. Not at all. No.
This is gonna sound crazy.
Okay.
In my head, it's less sexual than a lingerie party.
Sure, I see. I hear you saying the words, but go on.
Mm-hmm. Maybe also, I've never been to a lingerie party.
Me neither.
Party. So in my head, I'm thinking strippers.
I'm just girls.
Toys,
I'm thinking no. When I say lingerie party, there are girls doing hauls and lingerie at 14. That's it. That's the only thing that's gonna be there.
Halls and laundry, but is this a public event? Like, who am I selling candles to? Like
The other 14-year-olds.
But where are these 14-year-olds coming from? Who's sourcing them? Like,
No, they have an event. That's their thing. You're just bringing candles to the event.
no, that doesn't even sound like enough of a pool for me to even sell candles at. Like, just to be like.
Cause I'm like, if they have 400 girls,
where they get 400?
Facebook, Instagram. Cause I'm like, and honestly, you could do it like this. You could say, hey, if you're 14 and you like this kind of clothing, we're gonna have an event. You could try it on at the thing.
That sounds human trafficking. That sounds ridiculous. I'm saying,
God.
like, inherently, that event sounds wrong. You would not see that. You will not see that on the internet anywhere. I've never heard of this event before. Is that a real thing?
Okay.
So
would you do 17? Would you do 16-year-olds?
16-year-olds?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. They getting up there in age.
Sure.
They could probably wear lingerie. I don't know.
Right, but are you bringing the candles to their event that they're having? And go, hey, we gonna sell candles at this.
I'm too old. No, probably not. It doesn't feel. I'm too old for that. Like, maybe someone at 17-year-old can, I don't know, bring candles. But like, I would not.
But okay, that's okay. We're going the right direction. Would you let somebody else bring the candles to that event?
Would I let somebody else bring my candles to that event?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Why not?
People gonna question me like, Melissa, why
Okay.
can't I find your candles at this
Yes.
laundry event?
But if I said to you, Melissa, I don't care about that. That's fine, right?
What?
I'm like, it's cool. They have an event. They getting dressed in lingerie. Let them.
Like, if I will not be selling. Like, if somebody buys my candle and has it there, there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay.
There could be Fiji water there. There's nothing Fiji could do about that.
But that exactly. But do they come to the event?
But it's for you, me like sponsor it. Like, I'm putting my name on this event.
Technically,
absolutely not. Absolutely.
But you would put on a trans event.
I don't care about
so
trans.
You would put it on
a trans event.
Sure.
It's not.
Sure. It's not.
It's mostly a woman's event and an LGBT
QIA, and they said trans. They made sure to put trans in there. They didn't just say LGBTQI.
Trans women there.
But why did I just say LGBTQIA?
Because
or queer.
I think there's not going to be any men there.
Oh, what is a trans woman? You know what's crazy? Donovan. What is a trans woman? That's a man. That's crazy.
Donovan.
There's gonna absolutely be men there.
Donovan.
I didn't even think about that.
Donovan, there's not supposed to be any men there.
That's crazy. They're gonna have trans women there.
Donovan.
You emailed them already?
Yeah. There's not supposed. I don't think there's supposed to be any men.
So what are gonna be trans men? Like who is what?
There's women and trans women.
What is a trans woman? That's a man.
People who identify as women.
A trans woman is a man.
But so there's not supposed.
It didn't say trans men on there, and it didn't say just trans, right?
Because there's no men that's supposed to be there. I don't think so.
But you know, trans means transitioning into a woman, which means you started off as a man.
I think it's just supposed to be a women event.
But this is how we have problems because who was coming to the event? Now I don't even know who's coming to the event. I don't even know who's gonna be there. I don't even know.
I just told you, women are gonna be at this event.
Okay, so when you go without me and there's men with penises walking around out flailing until I saying they're a woman, what then? What do we do then?
I'm not going by myself.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I have a problem with this. This is exactly the reason why. I'm pretty sure the email says like. Oh, it's a trans woman. Maybe I'm wrong. I might just say trans. Does it say just trans?
So no, it doesn't say just trans.
No. I'm saying does it say like trans woman, trans men?
It's a women's space.
No. But the word when they use the word trans, do they have the gender after it? Like a trans?
Yes, it says trans woman.
Okay, that's a man.
Sir.
That is absolutely a man. There's no way that's not a man.
I don't know if trans men are. No, this is trans and non-binary.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. So you could be okay, that makes more sense. Cause it means it probably is for women who are transitioning into men. They're gonna be there.
I don't know, cause I saw and I personally saw trans women in their like flyer and stuff.
Guys, this is a lot. Okay, but anyway, this is, like I said, this is one of the topics for the day, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should go to something like this, because I don't like it. It's not something I'm like. I would never bring harm to a person doing that. I would never be like, nah, we gotta fight this person for this. No, it's not that deep. I just strongly disagree with the idea of that. I could sit down and have a convo with somebody who's trans all day long, right? My brain just says, I don't know if I'm compromising my morals by going to this thing. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking about. So, I don't know. I don't know if it counts as that or not. I have no idea. I don't know.
It just looks like a lot of women.
Mm-hmm. What kind of women?
Just a lot of women.
What kind? And this is the problem I have, because we shouldn't be having convos like this. What you mean by what kind of woman? There's a woman. There are women here. You sure? Women born with penises?
It's a lot of women.
So either way, so that event is. They want to answer by tomorrow, and we've been trying to figure out what we would do. I personally want to send Melissa's brother, because I feel like that would be a great experience for him, and I also have an issue in the sense of.
Yeah, there's a trans woman there.
Let me see that picture. Yeah, how often do they have this event?
I don't know.
Every month? This is so much going on.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like. Listen, guys. There's a company called Queer Candle Co. that would love this event. They would absolutely love this event. It's not for us. Here you go. It's just not, because I'm like, it's too much. You go. The picture I just showed you. Can you go through that whole reel already? That whole carousel.
The one that I showed.
Yes. It's the one with the money. You looking at it right now? Yes. What kind of debauchery are we going to? I can't. So I'm like, oh my God. Yes. I'm like, listen. I think, and I don't know how to tell them. Listen, I don't think this is the best event for us.
But you already said it like you was going.
I didn't say like I was going. To when? To who? Right now or to you? To them? Because I'm like, my thing is, listen. Because we're not even conservative at all. Like, I'm not. But that's crazy. That's a lot. That's just butt naked people stripping with stuff on. Like, come on. That's a lot. And this is how Joe Rogan be messed up. He be like, I thought I was a center. And like, nah, you don't want to go to this event. You obviously are right. You a right wing. Damn, Sushi. Don't press pause. Like, obviously you're right wing because you don't want to go to this event. And that's how I feel like we're going to end up being. We're conservative people now.
Who's we?
You don't. Oh yeah, you say you're going. Why you? Why not? Why not? You don't feel safe? You don't feel safe? You go to Arts and Fleet by yourself?
I would go, but I would go with somebody else.
As somebody else?
With somebody else.
Oh, all right. Who you gonna go with?
I don't know. I don't want to go by myself.
Why not?
I'm asking Dawson to go with.
Oh, she would. Oh, I'm gonna call her right now. She at work.
Wait.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So I'm like, say you would go, right? And this is the thing. I don't have a problem that much. I just don't feel like I should go. That's how I feel. Because the candle's not only owned by me. Half the candle company's owned by Melissa. So her half would go. My half is like, I don't know. I don't know about that. So, but yeah. Okay, last topic two more topics for the day. Damn, kind of have three. So actually, let's do her League of Villains segment before I get to my last situation.
Yeah, you already got us canceled. Hey y'all. League of Villains. So I went to my mom's house for the first time in a long time, which is really cool. My brother got surgery on his knee while he was doing some shenanigans, and his knee got discombobulated. I can't even tell you what it is. I don't know. But he has not been... He's been wearing a brace and doing physical therapy and stuff. So it was my first time seeing him. It was my first time seeing my family this whole year because we've been so locked in to the candles and everything. So it was really, really cool. Where you going? It was really, really cool to see, you know, my mom, my grandma, my brothers. I see Jermaine like every weekend, but, you know, like I said, we were actually able to, like, we're selling. So we're actually able to sit, you know, play games. We love playing board games, card games and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And, yeah, I just had a great time. My mom cooked for me, you know, so I brought some of that home. Ate that, was busting, had some pigtails and stoopies, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was just a great time. They paid for my Uber to get home, so, and they really missed me, and I felt, you just feel loved. So that was awesome. I have not been journaling this week. There has not been a lot in the vlog this week either, because this is our fake week off. I know Donovan just said that we just finished doing Chelsea, but I just want to reiterate that was 23 days straight of us doing fairs. 23 days. Y'all, that's fucking insane. That's almost a month. Imagine leaving your house and working every single day for 23 days straight. Crazy. But totally worth it, because like Donovan said, we did 25K pretty much. I think, yeah, we did 25K in these last 2 months. So that's awesome. I am very excited. Oh my God, sushi. So me personally, the things that I really want to focus on this month is funding, and that could be loans and whatnot. This is my daughter. Say hi, Sushi. She's in a chair behind me. Funding, and I really want to, like, I'm excited to do the creative stuff for like the ads, like taking the pictures and coming up with the concepts. I'm excited to make the content, especially for Pinterest. I'm gonna go fucking crazy on Pinterest. So the reason why I want to focus on Pinterest is that, you know, Pinterest had reached out to us earlier in the year to kind of market themselves to us, because our product, they think, is a product that would do well on Pinterest. So it's kind of like, if they make us more money, we make them more money, kind of thing. You know, if we grow, they grow. So Pinterest, the people that's on Pinterest are people like, you know, that like to DIY, that probably care more about kind of like what's in their products and stuff, because Pinterest is very information heavy. People who are planning their future. So Instagram is your now. I think Facebook is kind of like your past and stuff, and then Pinterest moves towards the future. So a lot of the times, if you want to update your apartment, if you want to figure out how to update your wardrobe, how you want to dress in the future, how you want to look, how you want to carry yourself, how you want your house to look, how you want your car, like vision boards, like all of those things that's future facing is on Pinterest. So if I'm looking and I see like, ooh, I really love the aesthetic of this apartment, and you see this bomb ass room service candle sitting in this apartment, you're gonna be like, ooh, I want to cop that. Shout out to you, Pinterest. And then, you know, you click on it, it brings you to the Ember Candle Co website, and boom, now we have a customer. So obviously, you know, it doesn't work that way entirely, but that's what I'm looking forward to, growing on Pinterest. You can also follow boards on Pinterest. So if we post enough good content, we can have monthly followers that can then transition over to the Instagram, that can then transition over to, you know, so I'm just really, really excited. We had 2 orders this week so far. It might have been 3 actually this week. And Donovan just mailed out 2 of them. Like I said, I haven't been journaling as much, so I do want to get on that, because I think journaling helps me a lot. It really helps me to just get my feelings out on the paper. It helps me to regulate myself and kind of think more before I do things. I'm overall more calm. Oh, I've been smoking weed pretty much every night before I go to bed. And that's something that I used to do before we moved in together, because Donovan doesn't really like that. But it really like just I'm so up. I'm like wired. I'm just like up all the time. If I go to bed, wake up in the middle of the night, I'll go on my phone and start looking for grants, start looking for funding, start looking for this, start looking for that, which is kind of helpful in one respect because it helps to grow the business. But then I wake up at 2:00 because I was up till 3, and it's just like a bad cycle. So I kind of use it to kind of help also regulate myself, because it's kind of like, okay, now there's a cutoff time. Now once it hits 9-10 o'clock, it's time to go to bed, Melissa. You don't need to be up all night and all that stuff. So I've been smoking more. I was doing edibles before too, but I think I do prefer smoking more than the edibles, because with the edibles you can't really dose it the best. So if I take too much, then now I'm waking up high. Ain't nobody really trying to do that. I think with the smoking, I can control it more. I could not get too high, and when I wake up, I'm still in the middle. And I don't really smoke a lot when I smoke either. It's like literally like this much. But either way, yeah, I hate that I'm doing that sound, but I don't know where Donovan went. So that's the end of the League of Villains section. Sushi, you want to say anything? Say Revere. 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 You not gonna talk? Say Revere. Revere. Revere.
First time revealing this with y'all, opening it up on the podcast.
Oh my god.
A little slipped. Alright.
My slippers ain't got no grip.
So we got the bags. These are the first sample bags for Ember Candle Co. You want to do the smallest one first or the biggest one? I'm going to do the biggest one first. Biggest one first. Biggest one first.
Oh wow. It's flat.
You don't want it to be flat?
Like, it's not reflective.
What is it?
The words.
Oh, yeah, it's not. They said that's too expensive to ship it like that. So this is just how they do it to show you the sample. Right.
What? What? I don't know. I feel like that bag is too big.
This is for 3 candles. Or 4 candles.
4 small?
No, this is for the big. You get a bunch of big candles. Is what you get.
I mean, yeah, 4 big. You see?
Right, and it's supposed to be laid down. That was more so the idea.
Oh, like this?
Right. And it's gonna be in a velvet bag. You probably feel like 4, maybe 5 of them in there.
Put some tissue paper.
Right. In the velvet bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this.
Okay.
I like this a lot.
Okay, and it says it's gonna be reflective. It's gonna.
It is gonna be reflective.
And you know what's crazy? This is a very like.
That's. Mm-hmm.
It's a very different shaped bag. I feel like you don't really see bags this shape. Like they're either like longer this way. You don't really see
It looks
bags.
like a high-end bag.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like even high end, they don't really come long. They're usually long that way.
I wish it was kind of matte though.
What was matte?
Like, I feel like it's kind of reflective. Maybe it's the lights in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it.
Okay, so now we're gonna do bag number 2. Got your Ember Candle Co. bag.
Thumbnail?
Oh yeah, facts. Okay. Okay, bag number 2. Bag number 2.
Perfect.
Okay.
So cute.
That one's bag number 2. Right. Right.
That's great. Cause that's like I would feel like that girl with that bag.
Which girl?
That girl.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Like I'm that girl
Right.
with the. Oh my god. Ah!
It'll be on top of the tissue paper and the candle.
Right, I know.
You put a candle in?
Yeah, I'm really trying to.
Right.
I'm not having food. You tissue paper and stuff.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Crazy.
The itty-bitty bag?
The bag of the hour. The bag of the hour, guys. All right.
We don't have the sizes, so I'm gonna be walking out all night.
Right. Imagine if you buy 5 candles, you got to get 2 bags. You know what's crazy? Think about people go shopping. They be having mad bags. They be having mad bags. Like, look, I just bought 17 candles.
I'm so happy. Okay, yeah. This is the last one.
Okay, this is the one.
Oh my god.
You want to get 1 candle? You want to get 2 little candles?
Oh, this is so cute. Purr.
And I feel that's a bag people might keep. Like you might keep that bag for something else.
Purr. Period.
But people see and be like, what? They thought they saw the bag. Now they were shook. They gonna get that one and be like, what? Y'all just sell? This is y'all brand? Y'all do this? Crazy.
Got the. I don't think you can fit that tissue paper.
Yeah, what are you thinking about? You have to cut it up or something.
Cut it up, I think. Can you fit 4 candles in here?
They're on top of each other.
Well, this is supposed to be for the one, right?
More like 1 to 2. Right, if you wanted to do 4, you could. Let me see. Oh, yeah. You know, it's heavy, but it doesn't feel.
It feels supported.
Yeah, it doesn't feel insecure.
Nah, this is a good bag. This is a good bag. Like, I might even have to double bag this for.
Right, they're gonna be shooketh.
Oh yeah, 3 easy. But yeah, you want to get a people watching?
There you go. Oh, they was like, oh my god! I can see him already. It's so cute. They might buy another one because of the bag.
Who is fucking with us? Who? Look at the bag.
That was what I went to go downstairs and get. I'm so excited for it. I'm happy that it looks good. It feels strong and secure. But you know, we're gonna try and wrap this podcast up for everybody. So this month we paid off the Kiva loan. So we're gonna start raising money on Kiva again. I guess the new link will be in the description. Not this video, probably the next one. If we start raising, we don't really know how the second round actually is supposed to go. We saw that it allows you to double up, but only up to 10K, and the first loan was 1,000. So maybe we get 1,000. We don't know. I'm still hyped coming down from all the bags we just got. The vessels came in. Y'all might have seen that in the Discord. The bags are here. Those look fire. And they're not even done. They don't even have the gold plating on it yet. So that's going to be even more fire when we get those. Like, people going to be walking through what's that place called? Chelsea Market. Be like, where is that at? What the fuck is that? That's an Artisan Fleece. Which one of them sell that bag? That's only candles in it? They're going to think that Ember Candle Co. something else. That's what it is. And like I said, it's all part of the plan because we're going to drop the Candle Co. I don't know how many years from now. At some point, it'll be Ember. And we have so many different things. You're like, oh my God, I went to the Ember event. I went to the Ember concert. I went to the Ember build. Oh, this just be Ember. Everything. But, so yeah, Kiva loan paid off. Order beeswax was supposed to be white. It came in yellow. If y'all were in the live, y'all saw how mad I was about that. That really blew mine. So we have to wait for that to come in again. But they shipped it. So, shout out to them for that. We're waiting for that to come in. I think the only thing left that we have to get is the velvet bags. We got the vessels. Those are great. We got the bags. Those are great. Waiting for the wax. And we need the velvet bags. And then this is the last topic for the day. So we have technically gotten our first office. We paid for a storage unit, which is 10 by 25 feet by 8, which is about 300 square feet of space. I might post a picture up of it a little bit. She want to smell it. She want to get inside the bag. They're going to roll around in it. We haven't figured out how we're going to use it yet, but I know with the new shipment of vessel that we're going to get, we couldn't put it in our house. And there was no way I was bringing that over to Hadassah's house. That wasn't going to happen. So we had to put it somewhere. So we're going to put it in that storage unit, which is literally down the block. Like, it's probably 3 blocks from here. So it's big, it's great. We might even deck it out, make it look like it's gonna be fire. When we get like our money up a little bit, that's gonna be like our office, and we're gonna be, chilling in there. Might even do the podcast in there. We'll do photo shoots in there. It's gonna go crazy. All right, guys. So that's crazy. Yes, it's going crazy. You can find all the behind the scenes content on our social medias. Mine is Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne. ANETABURN. You know what it is. Hashtag Bamboo Project 2023. The road to 500K. Y'all see we making moves. Y'all see the bags. Y'all see the literal bag and the other bag. And with that being said, Bamboo Project out.